Numbers are pretty much everywhere, right? We have phones, we have credit cards, OTPs, PIN codes, la 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 la. We have all of it, right? And many people are in different industries, and maybe you work in an industry where you need to be able to memorize lots of digits and to be able to recall them easily and quickly. And for most of us, we don't necessarily need to memorize hundreds of digits like memory champions do. If I were to give you 10 different digits right now, you would only be able to remember between 4 and 7 of those digits, and in no particular order. That's generally the ability of our short-term memory. But with the technique I'm going to give you today, well, you can remember as many as you would like. So before we get into it, how long do you think it would take for you to memorize this sentence? My turtle Poncho will, my love, pick up my new mover Ginger. Well, if you would like to do it really quickly, then you can memorize it without my love, and then you can put it back in afterwards. But if you do memorize that sentence, already have, then you've already memorized the first 24 digits of pi through the method I'm going to be taking you through today. So let's get into it. So the method we're going to go through today is called the major method. And simply all we do is we take the numbers from 0 to 9 and we give them corresponding letters. Then what we do from those letters is we create our own words using the vowels to connect a word, right? So let's go through what the letters are and how we connect them to the numbers. So starting with 0. 0, the letters that are corresponding in the major method are S, Z, and a soft C. So kind of like scissors, that sort of C, right? So the S and the Z. You'll notice that they're kind of phonetically similar in the mouth. They kind of come from the same position if you try to say it out loud. Let's go with 1. Well, we have a D or a T. The second is N. A 2 is an N, okay? On the side, a 2 kind of looks like an N, right? 3 is an M, kind of like a M, right, on the side, or the top of a love heart, you know? 3 kind of looks like an M on the side. 4 is an R. So R, if you kind of reverse it, it looks a bit like an R. If that's how you draw an R, write an R, whatever. 5, we have an L. The top of a 5 is kind of like an L shape. That's one way to remember it. Now 6, we have an SH with a sh, or a ch, which is a CH. We have a soft G, okay, or we have a J, like judge. Both of those are 6s, judge, okay? Number 7, we have a K sound. So we have literally a K, and on the side of a K kind of looks a bit like a 7. We have a hard C, like cut, or we have a hard G, like gun, right? So that's 7 is the G sound. You'll notice again in your mouth, it sounds very phonetically the same. Number 8, we have an F or a V or an F. You can remember 8 is an infinity sign, the F, infinity, that's one way to remember it. And number 9, we have a B or a P. 9 kind of looks like an upside down B, or did I say that right? Yeah, I think so. Or a P, which was just like reversing the 9 around. So those are all the letters that you need to remember for the major method. And as you do go through those, you'll realize what I mean by the phonetically similar sounds in the mouth for the S, Z, and S, or the sh, ch, and j, or the k and g, right? They're very much the same inside of the mouth, okay? And you'll notice that there are some letters that we didn't use in there. There's the H, or there's an X and a Y. We don't actually use those in the major method to make into the letters, or the sounds rather, but they do help you to create some words, okay? And another rule for it, if there's a double letter, just count it as one number. So if there's a word like yellow with 2 L's, you would count it with just 1 5, okay? 1 5. A single 5, not 1 and 5. Just want to clarify that real quick. So let's try and create some words with these numbers. Let's say that you want to remember 2 2. Well, 2 is an N, so we get N, N. 2 is N, N. Now we want to try to create a word with that. Well, we can use any vowel we want, but let's go with none. So N-U-N. Now, you know what a nun is, right? With the cross and the beads and the black outfit and the white outfit. That's a nun. So that's easy, 2 2. Let's go with 1 7. Well, we have a D or a T and a J or a K, so we can go with a D and a G. And we could create the word dog, right? So if you wanted to remember 2217, you could remember a nun walking a dog. Bit of a weird picture. That's probably why you're going to remember it. And the way that I like the most to use the major method is to put it with a memory palace as well. So that, let's say you're trying to memorize lots of digits, you can just use your entire memory palace and just keep recalling numbers. And if you don't know what a memory palace is, let's create a quick little one for you, just so that you can get that experience. All we do is we put information in locations that we're familiar with. So let's go with our house. Imagine you walk into your first room in your house in the entrance and you stand at the door and you pick 5 large pieces of furniture. So let's say that for this case, we have a couch, we have a coffee table, we have a television, we have a mirror, and we have a painting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? Now we would want to put some information onto those places. So let's say the nun, which is the 2, 2. You can imagine a nun sitting here and praying on the couch, okay? So we've got 2, 2. The next one, let's say this is a dog, which is the 1, 7. We have a dog. Maybe he's laying down on the table, maybe he's taking a poo on the table, maybe he just runs up and crashes through the table. Whatever, we want to make those pictures a little bit weird and interactive and fun and actionable, because the more you do that, the harder it is to forget. Okay, so we've got 2, 2, and then 1, 7, right? So then we could keep going throughout our house. Let's say you've got a cup, which is 7, 9. We've got a k and a p. So 7, 9, we can imagine throwing a cup at number 3, which is the TV. So we've got 2, 2, 1, 7, 7, 9 throughout our house, so you can go forwards. Then you could go backwards if you wanted to. We've got 9, 7, 7, 1, 2, 2, right? So this is how, if you've seen me do this stuff before, where I memorize the digits on the spot and I can go backwards and forwards in any order, this is how I'm doing it. It's not magic, it's just a technique that I learned how to do. And it may seem like it takes a lot of time to get good at. But don't worry, with just a little bit of practice, you can get good at this. You can actually start to use it from 1 hour of practice easily. I actually did that when I first started it. But here's a way to get better at the major method pretty quickly. We want to deconstruct items. So let's say that you have a table. Try to use the major method to be able to deconstruct the letters and the numbers from the table. So we have T, B, and L within that word. Well, a T is a 1, a B is a 9, and a 5 is an L. Did I just say that right? Yeah, I just said that right. So we have 195 for the table, okay? Let's say you want to memorize a remote. Well, we have an R, which is a 4, we have an M, which is a 3, and we have a T, which is a 1. So we have 4, 3, 1, okay? So as you start practicing this, you're going to get better at it very, very quickly. You can even try to start storing random items in your memory palace, like the table and the remote, and deconstruct the items and the numbers backwards and forwards throughout your own memory palace. Another way that I started getting better at the major method was looking at cars as they drive past while I'm driving and try to create words through their license plates and remember them through my memory palace. And you're going to realize that over a little bit of time, something just clicks. And these pictures just start coming from nowhere. You don't even need to try to create or deconstruct or construct pictures. If you just give me, let's say the number 67, I instantly have sh and k, so I just create shock very quickly. And if you are struggling with coming up with these numbers in the beginning, then you can look online. There's plenty of different templates with other people's 2-digit words for the major method. So when I first started, I couldn't think of anything for the life of me for 44, which is RR. I couldn't think of a word no matter what. So I went online and found somebody else's template, and they had the word aurora, like aurora borealis in the sky. And I was like, oh, okay. So I started using that one very easily. 5, 5, I couldn't think of anything until I went online and found a template, and it was lily, like a lily pad, right? So a frog jumping on a lily pad. So as you start doing this more and more, it's just going to start connecting instantly. And you're going to be able to save them on your memory palace. You're going to be able to do some cool tricks for your friends, or maybe some bar competitions, or whatever you want to do with it. It's also very good for remembering stuff when you're studying. Let's say that you're memorizing history and you need to memorize dates. Well, you can start turning these dates into pictures using the major method and just storing it in your memory palace. And as you start doing this, you will start connecting it to your own information and your own ways of using these methods. So if this does help, please let me know in the comments. Please make sure to like and subscribe, share it to somebody who might help, because it helps the channel grow. It helps me to make more videos, and I hope you guys are enjoying. So until next time, see you next time. Peace out.